abandoning zoning. PDP committed political suicide by abandoning zoning. Ohanes Ndigbo. The President General of Ohanes Ndigbo Worldwide, Professor George A. Obiozo, on Wednesday said the opposition PDP has committed political suicide by abandoning zoning for the 2023 general elections. Obiozo was reacting to the decision of Governor Samuel Ortom-led PDP committee on the zoning of the office of the presidential ticket, and the committee is reported to have thrown the presidential ticket of the party open to all the aspirants from all parts of the country. And in a statement signed by the National Publicity Secretary of Ohanes Ndigbo Worldwide, Chidozie Alex Ogbonna, Obiozo wondered why the PDP decided to jettison zoning when it is the turn of the South, and particularly the southeast of Nigeria, to produce the next president. And now, remember, we discussed this yesterday. The outcome of the meeting was discussed yesterday. Remember, the zoning committee headed by Samuel Ortom of Benue State actually had a roundtable discussion on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, they decided that the presidential ticket of the party will be thrown open, as opposed to zoning it to a particular region, despite the clamor by several regions, the south, the southeast, even the north, for the presidential ticket. We saw Samuel Ortom saying the ticket is now open. Everybody can actually throw in their cap in the battle ring and then slug it out for the presidential ticket. But now several groups and even political groups are now crying foul, especially Ohanes Ndigbo, who have actually said it was time for the Southeast to produce the president of the country. We've seen several regions produced a president, especially during the regime of the PDP. We saw Olusegun Obasanjo from the Southwest become the president of the country in 1998. We saw it move over to the north with President Yaradua, and then the South actually emerged, the presidential flag bearer with Goodluck Jonathan. And now the Southeasterners have been clamoring that it was time for the political presidential seat to be zoned to the Southeast. And now that it is the time of the Southeast, now the PDP have decided to throw the ticket open rather than go the way of the zoning, which has been in the constitution of the political party. Now, Ohanes Ndigbo is saying it is more of political suicide for the PDP going into the 2023 presidential election.
Well, first off, I kind of agree with them because given what we've seen so far, just like you have said, you've made the analysis. I think, to be fair, PDP ought to have respect that gentlemanly agreement. We know it's not in the constitution, but I believe there's an agreement among them. So they should trade cautiously, because if they don't, probably I don't think they will be able to match APC from the lookout of things, because one will expect that the presidential ticket should go to the South. All right, since I think they should just really trade to the South. I think this arrangement they are putting it up for everybody to just come and contest is not really healthy enough for the PDP. So I think they should reconsider their stance if they really want to win.
So for me, I'm not a party to zoning from the very beginning. I've always said zoning should be thrown out and let the game be open for everyone of these aspirants to come out and test their popularity. Let the best candidate win. Because I wouldn't agree with Oneze when he said that this is political suicide. For the PDP, they have about 14 aspirants who have declared their intention. Maybe we'll be seeing a lot more in the coming days. And when I look at these 14 candidates, I see all of them as people who can actually lead the affairs of this country. So the party rather wouldn't have a aggrieved member. I think it's a wise decision to open up the game for everybody without zoning it either to the north or to the south or to the west. Let everybody actually be a partaker of the primaries and let the best candidate actually win.
Okay, a lot of people have actually said this will spell political doom for the PDP. Some are saying no, it will not spell any political doom, especially knowing that the region where there are speculations that we might actually get to see a candidate emerge from the northern region. And looking so far at those who have indicated interest, we've seen some notable individuals from the northern extract indicate interest. And we know how it is with elections, especially if you field a northern candidate. That has been the conversation for now. And some are saying whatever threat Southeast in the people are actually making at the moment does not really hold water, does not really stand, because
for me,
you know, some have actually said, do they come out to stand elect? Do they come out to vote at elections? We've seen several times.
That it is time for Nigeria to actually leave this a candidate is from the south, northwest. We are all Nigerians. Let's leave that aside. Let all of these candidates, whether they are from the northeast, let everybody come out and test their popularity. Let the capable person actually win this thing, instead of we saying it's time for the north, it's time for. We've seen what the northern candidate did.
We have a lot of capable hands in the south as well.
So
when we bring up this argument
Ejiro,
yes,
it is not about capacity here. I know I am a proponent of vote people on the basis of competence. We've seen previously in our leadership, most people just vote based on ethnic lines or religious inclinations and not based on competence.
Yes. But that was in the past.
You've actually said, let's be factual here. Let's look at it.
Moving forward. I think it's high time we look at the South, because there are more capable hands there.
Let's stop saying
now,
let's
when you
look
say
at the South. There are more capable hands.
When
How?
you say
decide that?
It's like you're trying to downplay the South. It's like they don't have.
No,
if you check out the Southeast, the South, they are all PDP strongholds. If you agree with me,
yes,
all right.
Yes,
so you can't just ignore such persons, all right. In as much as we have a lot of capable hands in the north, we equally have the same capable hands in the south.
But now the question is
rotation.
You need to understand that politics is a game of number, and whoever will give you the number is who you're fielding.
Now look at the situation where
understanding this as well in the decision of the political party, it would have been fair for the political party, let's say PDP, who have actually thrown the issue of zoning under the carpet and decided to throw their tickets open. Now,
what I would like to say is the North should really rally around the South and support whoever.
They also have a candidate. We have candidate Tambuwal is there. We have Atiku Abubakar who's from the Adama, who's from the Northeast. Remember, the Northeast have not actually produced a presidential candidate. Rather, they produced a vice president. And this is why some people in certain regions are saying the North West have actually produced a president in Yaradua.
Let me tell you. You know, the APC have really zoned their presidential candidate to the South, right? Is that not so?
I am not of the APC, so I wouldn't know.
But you can see with the permutation, the news and every other thing, you should know that they've zoned it to the south. Now, if PDP does not toe that line, all right, we'll have a situation where people from the south will be reluctant to really go out to vote. That's people from the south
has this not been the case even when Southeasterners or people from the south has been fielded, whether as a vice president or whatever?
You know, we once had something like this during the Good Luck era, when the North felt it was their time, and then Good Luck was being put forth, and we all saw the result. All right. So if really they toe that line this same time, they are making another mistake again that will cause them.
Okay, so in the words of Oanis and Nigo, it is political suicide for the PDP.
Yes, I think so.
They
should really,
another candidate that's not from the southeast.
Well, they should look at the south. I just think they should look at the south in order to be fair, because we have equal. If you have people who are capable in the north, we equally have the same persons in the south. So I think they should start looking towards that direction if they really want to make any headway.
Okay, anyway, that is, everyone is entitled to his or opinion. That is it on Daily Trust, and still on Daily Trust newspaper. Let us go through this headline, which says, bandits, we will kill train passengers if federal government fails to meet our demands. The bandits who abducted passengers on a Kaduna-bound train last month have threatened to kill them if the federal government fails to meet their demands. In a video released on Wednesday, the armed men said they were not interested in money, adding that the federal government knows what they were asking for. The video, which was less than 2 minutes, had 4 of the bandits with one of the abducted passengers, Mr. Alwan Hassan, managing director of Bank of Agriculture. And one of them, who spoke in Hausa, said the MD was released due to his age. And in the spirit of Ramadan, Daily Trust observed that the terrorist, clad in military uniform, made the video at the forward operational base in Polware, Benin Gwari, Kaduna State, which was attacked on Monday. And one of the armored personnel carriers that was burnt during the attack was used as a background in the video. And based on the excerpt, it said, we are the group that kidnapped passengers on the train a few days ago. Among them is this man that was pleading with us due to his old age, and we felt pity on him due to the month of Ramadan, so we want to give him back to his family. And now looking at this, where the bandits actually officially made a video with the MD of Agriculture, who was actually released recently. It has been in the news that he was released, and the bandits have actually given reason for his release. 1, because of his age, and also 2, because of Ramadan. And now they threatened in that video to kill the passengers of those trains who have been abducted if the federal government does not meet their demands. And now looking at what they said in that video, as reported by Daily Trust newspaper, that they said the federal government, they do not want money. Rather, the federal government knows what they want. And now the question is, what do these bandits want that the federal government is aware of and they're not willing to give to them? That is the question. Before now, we felt it was because of money. They needed, money to fund their activities and all of that. But they are clearly stating that they are not doing this for money. Rather, they are doing this for a reason best known to the federal government. And now the federal government haven't officially made a statement as regards that video that we saw yesterday, Wednesday, that actually circulated on social media. And now the question is, what do the bandits want? And why are they threatening to kill the abducted passengers if the federal government do not meet this demand of theirs, which is actually not money related? Ejiro.
Well, I don't know if I heard you well when you said they felt pity on the man.
That was what they said.
Bandits too do.
They have a conscience. Is that what?
Oh, they do.
Maybe, probably. I wouldn't know. They said
they should feel pity on the rest, the others, and then let them go as well, because they should have pity on the whole of Nigeria and then let us off the hook. Now, saying that the federal government knows what they want, I think the federal government should really come out and tell us what does these guys really want, because we, as a common man on the street, we don't know. We don't really understand what they want, because what would they need that warrants them killing people the way they go about killing people? So I think they should really tell Nigerians what they want, so that probably we'll start from that angle and see if their demands are really reasonable or something.
Now the question is, if they tell Nigerians what they want, how do we rally around to provide what these people want, to give them so we can get the abducted? It is easier for Nigerians to rally around and raise money. We're seeing kidnapped victims, their families raising money, some in millions, some selling their lands and their properties. We heard the story of a man, I think in Zamfara, who actually had to unroof his property, sell the zinc to release his sons from abduction and all of that. If it's money related, it is easier to handle. But now we do not even know. We do not really know. And the federal government hasn't even come out to officially tell us, okay, we know their demands. Probably they've written to us, or through their representative, they've told us this is what they want, and this is why we cannot provide this, or this is what we are doing to ensure that the abductees are brought back alive and safe. But we've heard reports that some have been killed, and this should not be the case, Timmy.
Simeon, really, the video is a very scary one, and it's causing for alarm right now. In that video, that these terrorists are saying that the government actually know what they want. For me, this simply means that they've been in talks with the government before now, and I would also want to agree with some set of people that have said that the government actually know those behind this these terrorists, or that is bankrolling them. So I don't think, and constitutionally, I don't think it's right for the federal government to actually make bargains with terrorists. So what I would advise, or what I would say on this matter, is for the government to actually wage war against this bandit. They should try and actually look for where they are in Nigeria, obviously. So they should look for where these terrorists, where their hideouts are, and do something about it before it gets out of hand. Because as it is, nobody is safe. Even you and I that is in the studio.
Well, I would rather opt for a political solution, because
they should be given amnesty.
No, not amnesty. Not amnesty.
By political solution, what
First
do we do?
is
We know you are the solution provider. Yes.
First is they have a demand. Now we know there's something they want. All right. So let's go to the round table. Let's sit down and talk.
Sit down with terrorists.
Well, there are ways government could get persons.
You do not bargain with terrorists.
Not bargain. Now they've put forth a demand. Now, what are these demands? Make it open for everybody to know what are their demands. I don't think the federal government would want to reveal those demands. We've been fighting these guys, and it seems like it's not working. All right? We could see that even US at one time had to reason with the Afghan, the Taliban, what's it called now, terrorists, to really negotiate with them or have some sort of understanding with them. All right? So I think it's high time we really know what are their demands. What is this? I'm not saying because we want to know their demand, that necessarily mean we'll meet those demands. All right.
So what's the point of me knowing the demands?
Is to know if it's reasonable. You know, there are some demands that are not reasonable. For them to say
the federal government know what they want and they've not responded, it means that their demand is not reasonable.
Then the federal government should make it known to Nigerians, because as it is now, it seems like they are helpless. But they should make it known so that we'll reason along with the government, and we will now understand why the political will is not there, or why they are doing what they do.
For me, I don't think it's safe to actually disclose that kind of issue when it involves terrorists to Nigerians. We can go away about it.
Whatever it is, we just hope that this is sorted. I don't know how, if the military will have to bombard the hideout of this terrorist, but the main thing is I just hope that those abducted are brought home safely. We'll go quickly to pay some bills. When we come back, we will continue the conversation right here on Bright Republic. Stay with us. Do not go anywhere.
Find and like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram.
Tell your friends and family about us.
It's Bright 98.7.
Booja, the erudite law lord, Barrister Obus is coming.
You 2 minutes.
Owings Entertainment presents Nigeria's finest comedian, Buchi, live on stage, the man of the year. This Easter, comedy undiluted with Basket Mouth, Bovey, Senator, Mudiaga, Kaboko, Abarie, Wafi comedian, and your favorite flatmate. Also featuring
Cobams, Asuko, AV.
Date is Sunday, 17th April 2022, Easter Sunday at the Congress Hall, Transcorp Hilton. Time 6 p.m. prompt. Tickets regular 5,000 naira, VIP 25,000 naira, table for 10, platinum 2 million naira, gold 1.5 million naira, and silver table 1 million naira. Get your tickets online at www.allevents.ng. Tickets will not be sold at the venue. This event is proudly supported by Travel Better, Dana Air, Live Lounge, Main Street Capital, Chupex, and Transcorp Hilton. Comedy doesn't get better than this.
A lot goes into becoming a broadcaster. It goes beyond the voice, the face, and the swag. It goes beyond the accent and workflow. Even academic qualification isn't enough. What then makes an exceptional broadcaster? Bright 98.7 FM presents Bright Media Academy, a 4-week exclusive radio training and mentorship program in basics of radio presentation and programming, newscasting, voiceover artistry, and lots more. For registration and inquiry, call us or send us a message on WhatsApp on 070-337-28313. Follow us on our social media handle at Bright FM 987. Bright Media Academy. Learn, grow, and earn.
am here since 3 days ago.
Like corruption can happen at anywhere.
Corrupt with petrol. I prepare it with not a lot of corruption with petrol.
I see them for hotel, I see them for market. And if you see them, you go know.
They say you get where them, then they embalm themselves, but me, I never go to that place before.
Let's discuss the headlines and politics.
Going by the Senate Standing Orders of 2011 as amended, which is the genuine and authentic because it has never. And it protects. Will you shut up?
Get involved. Air your opinions. In this republic, we don't turn off your mic. Join us on Bright Republic, weekdays,
8 a.m. You're welcome back to Bright Republic. 27 minutes gone past the hour of 8 o'clock. Still Simeon Sunday here, and of course Ejiro Onuato as well as Timdokbe Elagushi still here as we go through some of the trending headlines. And now let's move on to Blueprint newspaper, where the headline clearly states Jonathan breaks silence as accident kills 2 security aides. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has reacted to a ghastly auto crash that claimed the lives of 2 of his security aides. The ECOWAS envoy was involved in an accident on Wednesday while on his way from the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport to his Abuja residence. In a statement by his media aide Ikechukwueze, the former Nigerian leader expressed sadness over the unfortunate and tragic death of his aides. Jonathan stated that the sudden death of the 2 security details has thrown him into deep mourning, adding that the incident was painful and heart-rending. The former president, however, commiserated with the families of the deceased and prayed God to grant them eternal rest. And now looking at what happened to the former president, yesterday it was in the news that he was involved in a ghastly motor accident. At the time that happened, reports had not really unraveled what really happened and the casualties involved. But later towards the evening, we actually got information that 2 of his aides actually passed on as a result of that fatal accident that happened to the former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan. A lot of Nigerians are happy that he is fine, is okay at the moment, but sad that his aides had to pay the ultimate price for on that particular day at the accident.
Well, it's a sad one, and may the soul of those who passed on rest in peace. What I would like to say is that former President Goodluck Jonathan should really see that the families that these officers left behind are really catered for, because we've seen situations whereby some persons who die on active duty, after the condolence messages and the rest, nothing has been done for their families. But I would like to encourage him to see to that the families are well taken care of, so that they don't feel the pain that much.
Okay, so looking at this particular report, this is, we're not trying to throw blames, but sometimes there are certain things we've witnessed, especially knowing that the vehicle was coming from the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport down into town. We've seen, convoys of, the VIPs in the country when they drive the airport lane. We all know that the airport road is a 10-lane road, and it's a wide road that you can actually drive or use up. For those who drive high speeds, you could drive up to 240 without even knowing you've actually hit that amount of speed. But looking at it, several times we've seen video. This is not the first time a convoy of a politician is involved in an accident. We've seen others happen. Now, a lot of Nigerians have been saying, why do those in this convoy drive the way they drive? We're not saying this could be the reason why this has happened, but it's been a recurrent case where convoys of politicians always get in accident or get involved in accidents. Some have said you see them drive on the airport road axis, especially some of them when they are going to the airport, especially when they are late to catch their flight, and some of them when they are coming back into town back to the resident, you see the way the security personnel drive, and you ask yourself questions. Do they have an extra life? Do they have extra lives that they kept somewhere? And the sad thing is, some people become casualty of the reckless driving of some of these politicians. Sometimes I ask myself, some will say it's a security risk when they drive, and that's why they drive that way. But sometimes the safety of the person you're carrying is very important. Imagine the former president involved in that accident and losing his life. That did not happen yesterday, but we've seen important persons lose their life as a result of reckless driving of their drivers. Convoys in the we are already used to how they drive, but it is sad that we see people drive this way in the FCT.
Well, I think the road safety should really move into sensitize these security personnel, because
road safety.
Yes,
sensitize.
Having to talk to them to really let them understand that they are not supermen. All right, you don't have, your life does not have duplicates. Once you lose it, you've lost it. All right, so I think it's high time they really talk to them, because most times when you see these guys, you really wonder what's really happening. How can somebody be driving like this? And is a security personnel driving like this, as if anything happened, his life will be returned back to him or something. He doesn't really show a good example for somebody who is meant to protect law and order. So I think it's high time they sensitize them. They really take them for a seminar, make them understand.
They should go for go and get their licenses again.
It's high time they organize a seminar and then show them the risk, the damages, all the damages, the risk involved in driving like this, because you are meant to protect somebody, right? And then you're driving like this. Let's assume it happens to, I don't want to mention, but then it doesn't really sound well. I think it's high time they are really called to order, because in most cases they even end up hitting some persons and then they don't stop. All right, so I think it's high time they really sensitize them on the dangers of driving very rough and speed like that.
Okay, away from that, quickly let's move on to the Guardian newspaper, where women groups excited as court sanctions affirmative action rule. The Federal High Court Abuja yesterday ruled in favor of women in the affirmative action suit filed on their behalf by Falana and Falana Chambers and Barrister Marshall Abubakar. The women groups had litigated to seek true interpretation to the anti-discriminatory provisions and gender equality as enshrined in the 1999 Constitution as amended. Ruling after striking the defendant's lack of local standard objection application argued by the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice that said the rights of the applicants had been breached. Justice Donatus Okorowo held that the plaintiffs, who are gender groups and NGOs, have shown their interest in the suit via their affidavit evidence. And on the main issue, the court struck out the defendant's affidavit and held that the plaintiffs have proven their case before the court, and the court therefore resolved the two issues in their favor of the plaintiffs and granted all the relief sought. And recall that Nigeria currently ranks very low globally at 184th out of 187 nations in female representation in parliament, and the matter, which had been adjourned a number of times, including twice in the last 72 hours, is a statement on the extent of countries' readiness to practice inclusion based on the international and regional instruments that it has signed since independence in 1960. And now, the gender was represented by a coalition of women groups, including Nigerian Women Trust Fund, Women Empowerment and Legal Aid, Women in Politics Forum, Center for Democracy and Development, West Africa, Women Advocate Research and Documentary Center, Vision Spring Initiative, IAGA Africa, as well as International Federation of Women Lawyers. Now, looking at the court upholding this and affirming this action for in benefit of women, affirming the 35% for women. A lot of women are excited. Women groups are excited about this particular development. Remember, women have been boldly clamoring for a representative, at least a certain number of representation in parliament. It has been the cause for women. Women have fought this all through the years, and even in recent times, we've seen certain bills that have to do with women women being being pushed out of the floor of the House during deliberation, despite the fact that the president of the Senate has said several times that some of the women bills will be reconsidered and redeliberated on the floor of the House. We haven't heard about it, and now the court taking an affirmative action on this. Women are excited as their clamor for representation, for equality is coming to light, especially in a country like Nigeria.
Well, it's a good one. It's a victory for the women folks, and I'm really happy for them. But I would like to say, we would like to see more of them really participate, come out. You don't just expect such position to be given to you just like that. I think it's high time we see women rally around women to support, help push them to where they ought to be, because in most cases in the past we've seen situations where someone like Sarah Jibril once contested for presidential. She was once the presidential aspirant for one of those parties, I can't remember now, and she was the only one that voted for herself after all the campaigning, all the rallies. So I was wondering, where are these persons who were really going out to campaign with her, who were really going out to show support? Then on the election day, you don't see them vote for her. So I think it's high time the women folks really support one of their own. And I would like to see Temitope say something on this. I know she'll be very happy.
Okay, anyway, the court upholding the 35% affirmative action for women, where women can now actually hold 35% of seats in the parliament. Great news for women. Temi is really excited about this particular development, as what they've been clamoring for has finally come to fruition.
All right, Simeon, yesterday, when I think this morning, actually, when I saw the bill, I was actually very excited that...
it's a judgment of the courts, actually.
Yes. Yes, at least it's going... the court is said to be the hope of the common man. So we're actually looking forward to see this actually come in play. But it's actually a welcome development for the side of the women.
Okay, so following the judgment of the courts, especially handed down by Justice Okoro, 35% affirmative action, which entails a appointive position for women to ensure inclusivity must not merely be on paper, and it's something that should be actionable. We should start seeing that in the country, and this is great news for women. And congratulations to Falana Chambers, who actually took this as a responsibility to fight this cause for women. And also well done to all the civil society organizations, as well as the non-governmental organizations that have been pushing for this, and it is finally here. It has been done. And away from that, quickly, let's move on to another headline, and this one has to do with ASUU strike, and the headline is on Daily Independent. The headline says, despite ASUU strike, federal government okays establishment of 12 new varsities. There are indications that the federal government is not perturbed by the ongoing strike embarked on by members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, as the Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by the President granted approval for the establishment of 12 new private universities. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, who disclosed the information on behalf of the Minister of Education, noted that the 12 private universities will be mentored by already existing universities. And beyond this, new universities will have mentoring on recruitment of principal officers, academic and administrative staff, availability of human and material resources for the commencement of any academic program, among others. So now looking at this is coming on the backdrop of ASUU still having a lingering strike, and NASU have actually joined in the strike. Several academic bodies are threatening strike at this particular time in the country. So now looking at this development, a lot of people would have expected that before this decision is taken, where new universities are being okayed by the federal government, especially private universities, at least the government-owned institution would have been properly, the issues should have been addressed, especially knowing that students have been on strike for a couple of months now. Remember, the strike started with a 4 weeks running strike, and then we saw an extension by the administration of the academic staff of universities. Now, looking at this, it seems like new private universities have been okayed by the federal government. Some are saying this is the federal government trying to tell you that if the federal ASU continues on the strike and nothing is done about it, it's time for you to take your wards to private universities only if you can afford it. That is what some Nigerians are saying at the moment.
Well, that's what it is, because given what we've seen, most of those persons who are political office holders, they have their kids in most of these private universities. So most times they don't really care much about the public schools. So I think that's the line they are throwing right now, and it doesn't really all go well for the common man who can't really afford to send his or her wards to such private universities. I really think government should really try to fund the public universities, because look at ASU now, they don't even know when the strike will be cut off, and then you are here approving more private universities. This private university will choke life out of the public schools. So I think it's high time everybody really sit up, because it's not helping anybody at the end of the day. Because if you deny the poor man from going to school, tomorrow even your kids will not be safe. All right, so it's high time we look at this crisis in the long run. It won't help the country at all.
So obviously, Simeon, for me, it's just like the federal government does not even care about the students that are at home. Then approving more private universities is actually not a crime for me. But how many Nigerians can actually send their wards to private university? With the way the country is at the moment, we see the economy is not doing very well at the moment. So I actually feel that this move by the federal government is actually a very good one. But they should please try and come to an agreement with ASU so as to allow children or what go back to their various or prospective schools.
Okay, it's time for us to go on a quick break. When we come back, we will be introducing our guest this morning on Bright Republic as we talk about the way, as the journey leads to 2023 and other issues affecting us as a country right here on Bright Republic. Stay here, stay with us. We will be right back.
I am here since 3 days ago.
Like corruption can happen at anywhere.
Corrupt with petrol. I prepare it with not a lot of corruption with petrol. I see them for hotel, I see them for market. And if you see them, you go know.
They say you get where them, then they embalm themselves, but me, I never go to that kind of place before.
Let's discuss the headlines and politics.
Going by the Senate Standing Orders of 2011 as amended, which is the genuine and authentic, because it has never, and it protects. Will you shut up?
Get involved. Air your opinions. In this republic, we don't turn off your mic. Join us on Bright Republic, weekdays,
8 a.m.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the all-new high-definition TSTV, Africa's digital satellite television provider. With more than 100 channels covering every aspect of life, TSTV offers viewing pleasure at all times for all demographics. Catch world-class sports, music, movies, news, children's, educational, religious, documentary, reality TV channels, and so much more on TSTV. It's all in high definition. For as little as ₦2, you can watch what you want, when you want on our special bouquets, a la carte, pay-as-you-go, and pay-per-view. Our TSTV rollout channels are available all over Nigeria and in most African countries. To be part of this viewing experience, pick up your TSTV decoders, accessories, and preloaded vouchers from our dealer shops nationwide at unbelievably affordable prices. For more information, download the TSTV app on Apple Store and Google Play Store. You can check out our website, www.tstvafrica.com, or hit us up at TSTV Africa on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or call 0990-40990. Telecom Satellite Television, TSTV, connecting your world.
A lot goes into becoming a broadcaster. It goes beyond the voice, the face, and the swag. It goes beyond the accent and workflow. Even academic qualification isn't enough. What then makes an exceptional broadcaster? Bright 98.7 FM presents Bright Media Academy, a 4-week exclusive radio training and mentorship program in basics of radio presentation and programming, newscasting, voiceover artistry, and lots more. For registration and inquiry, call us or send us a message on WhatsApp on 070-337-28313. Follow us us on our social media handle at Bright FM 987. Bright Media Academy. Learn, grow, and earn.
You're welcome back to Bright Republic, 8:45 on the clock. My name is still Simeon Sonny, and of course, Ejiro still here, as well as Tim Tokwe. And we're being joined up by the spokesman for Concerned Nigerians. Concerned Nigeria is a civil rights movement committed to defending human rights and rule of law in Nigeria. We have the spokesperson, Agada Abu Theophilus, right here joining the conversation. Good morning to you, Agada.
Good morning, my brother.
Great to have you on the show this morning.
Well, it's good to be here. I want to commend you guys for doing a great job. And Bright FM is a home. And I'm glad to be here this morning.
Okay, so I know a lot of human rights violation and issue have actually come up in the headlines lately and in the country, but we will not be hammering on that today. Today we'll be talking about politics and talking about the journey, the road to 2023 right here on Bright Republic. It still has to do with human development and all of that. Now, we've seen a lot of people clamor for a presidential ticket being zoned to their region, especially this particular period of time. And they are also worried by Nigerians that Nigerians should vote based on competence and not on ethnic lines, and not based on political affiliations or even religious inclination, but understanding how the dynamics of Nigeria and how peculiar we are as a people in the country. Whether we like it or not, there are still biases when we want to make decisions in the country, especially when it comes to politics in the country. And political affiliation is one of such, as well as religious affiliation, and we know ethnic affiliation. Now, we've seen a clamor by different groups. South group are calling for a presidential ticket to be zoned to their region. We've heard certain political parties are saying, the ticket will not be zoned to certain region. Rather, it will be thrown open to every Nigerian to vote. We know your forte is on human rights, and now we know every Nigerian has the right to be voted for and also to vote. No one should be disenfranchised except you are incarcerated. And now, looking at this particular development at the moment and all of this, should Nigerians actually toe this line despite our human biases and our nature as a people, or should Nigeria go ahead in 2023 and choose their political leaders based on competence and based on precedents, talking about their history and what they've delivered to Nigeria all through the years?
Well, I think it is important for us to know that, first of all, the issue of zoning and all of it, first, is not constitutional. It's not in our constitution. And zoning is mostly, political parties, arrangements to balance power. And it is important for us to look at the historical context of, zoning. Zoning came to be in 1999 when former President Olusegun Obasanjo became president. After the annulment of 1993 elections, some group of people came together and decided that, okay, since the annulment of 1993 elections, why don't we, try return power to the Southwest, where, former MKO Abiola, who actually won that election in 1993. Why don't we return power back to, the Southwest to appease them? And that thought was that, okay, even if power will return back to the Southwest, let's look to former President Olusegun Obasanjo was voted in massively, by Nigerians. And it is important for us to note that, to me personally as a person, I don't believe in this whole issue of zoning and all of it. I believe in anyone who can work for the Nigerian people, a competent person, just like the way I am not really moved by, young people taking leadership, position. It shouldn't be about, young people. You can be young and not, competent enough to.
Yes,
govern.
you can be young and just be commissioning toilets in Lagos.
Of course.
Like a sitting House of Rep member.
You get so.
I'm not mentioning names. He's young. He was. A lot of people clamored for a young leader, and we saw that happen.
Yeah. So basically, what we should be, clamoring for is a competent person, someone who can deliver, someone who has the capacity, to govern. That is what we should be looking at. But then I will not shy away, from the peculiarity, of our nation. I think if we also look at history, no one from the southeastern part of the country has become president since 1999, or even, since 1999. So if we are talking about zoning, power should go to the southeast. If we are really, really serious about zoning, then someone from, southeastern, part of the country should become president. Since all of us, we are familiar with, the word wazobia, which connotes, the Hausa, the Yoruba and the Igbos. A Yoruba man, won in 1999. In 2007, a Hausa man, and by divine providence, an Ijaw man became president, in 2010 to 2015. And we've heard Buhari since 2015 till date. So by equity, I think the power should go back to this, power should go to southeast.
But you clearly stated that as much as zoning is not in the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, it is only a political construct by political parties to ensure, equal rotation and equity amongst party members. So we do not see one region clamoring and saying they are not equally represented, and that is why this was done. As much as it's not in the constitution, you've clearly stated that you're not in support of zoning. But if this should be the case, power should be zoned to this region, the southeastern region.
Absolutely.
Now, let's look at the figures. As much as we are talking about voting based on the lines of competence, we've seen, looking at precedents, the figures are there. You can actually pull out the statistics. Since 1999, since our first democratically elected president, in the person of Olusegun Obasanjo, we've seen this narrative that people from a particular extract do not come out en masse to vote. Rather, we see people from a particular region always come out to vote, and we know politics is a game of numbers. You have the number, you win, notwithstanding whether you are competent, whether you are clueless. Just as we've seen in a couple of years in the country, it does not really matter as long as you have the figures and you have the numbers. And now, looking at this as well, with the peculiar nature of our country, despite the fact that a lot of people are clamoring for a south, whether it's from the south or from the southeastern presidency and all of that, we know it is not even a case of talking. We saw what happened at the Anambra elections. We saw the figure of the people who voted. During the 2019 election, a Southeasterner was fielded as a vice presidential candidate. Absolutely. We saw the turnout of events. This person struggled to win in his constituency, to win that region to his people. But we saw the numbers that someone from another region actually got. And this has gotten a lot of political parties wondering, if we field candidates from this region, will we get the numbers to unseat, the main party at the center at the moment? These are huge concerns for every political party, and every political party's goal is to win, whether you have the competence, whether you have the blueprint to rule the country or not. Get in power, and then whether you are clueless, unveil your clueless in the next 4 or 8 years. That has been the structure in the country.
Well, first, I am not holding brief, for the people of southeastern Nigeria. I am an Igala man from Kogi State, but I want to correct a notion here, which most Nigerians have, which is, one, Igbos. We all know that if you go to Kara Namoda in Zamfara State, or Ijesha in Osun State, you see an Igbo man there. So why are we limiting Igbos to just the ones in southeastern Nigeria. Are the Igbos in Lagos not Igbos? They are Igbos. Doesn't mean that, okay, because Igbos in southeastern Nigeria feel marginalized, and which you will not blame them. The Nigerian nation, has marginalized these people for so many years. So many of them, they are kind of aggrieved, and they don't want to even come out to vote on elections day, and which you wouldn't blame them. In 2011, if you recall, many of the states in southeastern Nigerians returned over 1 million, votes. What happened in 2015? There was a voter apathy in 2015 due to the card reader and and the rest. And I wouldn't want us to just limit their votes to just the ones in southeastern Nigeria, because we all know that the Igbos outside southeast are more than the ones that are in southeast.
Empirically, we cannot confirm that.
We can't, but then you and I know that there are more Igbos outside southeastern Nigeria than the ones who are resident in the southeast. So it's wherever the vote comes from, whether the ones in southwest, in north central, in northwest, or northeast, they are all Igbos. So we shouldn't just limit it to just the ones in southeast. Like I said, I am not holding brief for the southeastern Nigeria. What I'm most concerned about is a competent person, someone who can deliver, someone who has the capacity to govern, someone who can get us out of like we always say in popular culture now, who can get us out of the trenches, because the country is completely on the ground. And we need a competent hand that can take us out of this mess.
Okay, also looking at this, as much as we're talking about competence now, riding on that as well, we've seen several individuals from the southern extract, especially the southeast, indicate interest. We've seen some of them, we've seen the likes of Peter Obi, who declared interest to run for the highly coveted seat in the country. We've seen some other people. Now, looking at the pedigree of these individuals who have actually indicated interest, who are of the southeastern extract, a lot of Nigerians are asking who has, the power, who has that political pedigree to bring the winning to the southeast. That has been the question. We've seen several times polls are done on social media. I remember in 2019, during the era when Peter Obi was the vice presidential candidate of the PDP, as well as Atiku as the presidential candidate, we saw so many polls being run online, and it always went in favor of this individual. But during the real contest, the real election, the opposite is the case. The figures we see at the polls on social media do not really reflect what happened at the election. Now, looking at this, it seemed like certain individuals, they have the pedigree online, but in real time, in real life, this pedigree doesn't really reflect during elections. Why has this been the case for these individuals, especially of Southeast extract, in elections?
Well, I know this personal view that I want to express right now is going to put me in trouble with so many people on Twitter and Facebook and the rest. But the fact remains that P2B, if you conduct an opinion poll online today, P2B will win the election hands down.
On social media.
But it is important for us to know that voting 2023 elections is beyond social media. And, P2B is competent. But I don't think he's playing, the real politics very well. We've seen, some other aspirants who have declared intention to run in 2023, going to Gombe, going to, Adamawa, going to several places to seek for,
to try, convince, stakeholders of their party, the delegates to vote for them in the forthcoming, presidential primaries. And I have not really seen that kind of work from P2B. He hasn't been to anywhere like outside the state, apart from when he went to consult with the traditional rulers in his village that he wants to contest an election. After that day, I have not seen, because they are always on social media, and I have not seen any picture from anywhere that he has gone to this state, to consult with the delegate or the stakeholders of his party. So these are groundwork that can actually win you, party ticket. And I'm not seeing that from him. So I don't consider him as a serious presidential, aspirant. Yeah, the young people may be online, shouting and all of it. But if you are not doing the groundwork to win the party ticket, you are wasting your time. And me, personally, I can't waste my time with someone like P2B.
Oh, amazing. Okay, so we've seen several people talk about this. I remember P2B is not the only, person from that extract who have actually declared interest. We've seen the likes of Oji Kalu also indicate interest. We've seen the man they call the statute builder, who might actually get to build a statute if he becomes the president of the country, talking about Rochas Okorocha and likes who have also indicated interest. And now, putting all these people into report, despite the fact that they are from different political parties, Rochas is of the APC as well as Oji Kalu and other people as well. Now, looking at these people, putting them together, who would Nigerian actually see and say has the pedigree to actually give their political party the winning, or if they get to fill them in 2023, although Nigerians are saying that will not be the case. Even words on the streets actually have it, verified report that certain people from the certain regions will be fielded in 2023, despite the clamor by Southeasterners.
Well, many times why so many people go to popular political parties to contest election is because of structure. So I believe that if some of these names that we have just mentioned, if their party should give any of them ticket, I believe they can win an election. The reason why an article will always contest under the platform of PDP is because of structure. Not anyone. If he thinks he's very, very popular, you should go and contest under AAC or any of these mushroom political parties now. He can't. So, political structure is actually, very, very important. And that is why we must, say that if you actually want to win an election, you go to a popular political, platform.
Just as we've seen in the case of Banky W, who actually defected from a particular party to another party.
PDP. So this is very, very simple. So to me, if P2B should do his groundwork and win PDP's presidential ticket, there is 86%, chances that he's going to win the election, because PDP has structure all over the country. So it's very simple.
Okay, anyway, Adrian will always say this, that you do not win elections on the floor of social media. Rather, you do a lot of groundwork and legwork to ensure that is done. But we've seen, people from this extra push more on social media than actually carry out physical consultations for their people. And some will say, no wonder they actually have to struggle during elections. Anyway, you can be a part of the show this morning. You can reach us via the studio numbers, or you can drop a message right here. We are still talking to the spokesperson of concerned Nigerians, Agada Abu Theophilus, as we talk about the road to 2023 and the clamor for a Southeastern presidency. 08130111724 08130111724. You can also drop a message via our WhatsApp page. The WhatsApp number is 07033728313 07033728313. Good morning to you.
Good morning. My name is Peter. I'm calling from Abuja.
Okay, Peter, you're welcome.
Thank you. Simeon, the way you are talking as the city, you have been able, because you are not talking as a Nigerian. to tell you this sincerely. The way you are talking, you are speaking as you have a personal hatred to Igbos, which means Igbos are not truly in this context. So that's the way you are talking is not good. But I want to say thank you.
Okay, please, can you clarify on that? Because I really do not understand what you mean. Hello? Okay, we lost that call. He actually said something. I wish I understood. I was trying to understand if I was the one being called out or you as well.
It was actually you, and I think we need to be very, very, careful, especially, when we come online to accuse people of, hating a particular, ethnic group. Nobody hates the Igbos. Nobody hates the Yorubas. Nobody hates the Hausas. So it is very, very important. Why would anybody say that, one hates a particular, ethnic group for airing an honest opinion, about socio-political issues, in their region? I don't think it makes any sense.
Okay, also, let me hammer on this. As much as we're still talking about the clamor for a presidential ticket, being zoned to the south. Some are saying rather south-south, some are saying southeast. As we've seen, the likes of Wiki also say the ticket should be zoned to this particular region. There are also speculations that one person might actually emerge or actually indicate interest anytime soon, and we are talking about the potential return of Goodluck Jonathan to join this particular race. It has been there, it has been speculation that's been on for a couple of times now. We've seen certain people clamor, and even there are speculations that this man should actually defect from the party he's in at the moment to another political party. So now looking at Goodluck Jonathan being a potential aspirant according to reports, but we are still waiting for him to officially declare if truly he will want to run for the presidential seat as well. Now looking at this, is this not dicey for him as well, despite the fact that he's of the southern extract as well?
Well, we've been hearing the rumors that of President Goodluck Jonathan contesting in 2023, and I can tell you that yes, that rumor is actually true.
Okay, you can say categorically that's true. It is
true. Yes.
Okay, this is coming from Agada Abu Theophilos himself. He's saying it's true. Okay.
Yes. The rumor is actually true, and if you ask me, and if I go to the poll today as a Nigerian to vote, I will vote for former President Goodluck Jonathan. And reasons being, it's very simple. Reason being that I am not very concerned about political party in 2023. Political party is just a vehicle to assume power. Which platform he contests under is not my business. I want a working Nigeria, and the person that I believe that can actually work in 2023 and beyond is former President Goodluck Jonathan.
Okay, looking at his antecedents, a lot of people actually say corruption thrived during his administration. He's of the southern extract as well, so his candidacy could also be valid for those clamoring for a southern candidate as well. But looking at this, as much as you feel or think he is capable of doing this, he has been there for over 6 years. He was the president, taking over from the late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, and also had one term as a president as well. Now, looking at what he did during his time and his antecedents and the call by even Nigerians before this moment that he's incompetent and needed to leave that position, do you think coming back will be a great thing for him, especially for those who have actually seen him as an elder statesman at this level?
I speak with facts.
Okay.
And figures. And if anyone wants to, disagree with me, they should bring, their own facts. First, it is important for us to know that, many people will tell you that, corruption was very, prevalent under former President, Goodluck Jonathan. But they failed to, realize that this was a man who in 2011, after he won the election, what did he do? See, it's the way our system is. the way our system is structured, people will always have access to cash. People will always have access to money. And what he wanted to do is, because he discovered that using EFCC or the ICPC or any of these, financial crimes, agency to fight corruption will not maybe even, do well due to, the way our laws are, were made and all of it. He was clamoring for, the use of technology to fight corruption, and we saw that with the what the former agric minister did in our in agric, where he ended over 40 years of fertilizer racketeering in that sector. And also, the introduction of TSA and, IPPS that we are hearing about today. These are, President Goodluck Jonathan's, initiative and concept. And what he wanted to do with some of these, TSA and, IPPS is because when people don't have access to cash, where will you even steal the money from? If you go to some of our hospitals today, they are digitalized. And money passed through so many people. So where will people even have access to cash to steal? So these are some of the things. These are some of the steps that he was taking to fight corruption, because he believed that with our laws, a man who stole 40 billion, they will tell you that you can pay 3 million naira if you don't want to go to jail. These are our laws. So what he wanted to do, in fighting corruption was introducing technology that would, prevent people from stealing. Now, secondly, that is for corruption. Secondly, you would recall that for 3 consecutive years, inflation rate in Nigeria was at a single digit. Where is it today? 17%. Unemployment rate was at what? 7%. Where is it today? Over 33%. Nigeria was rated as 3rd fastest growing economy in Africa and 26th in the world. Where are we today? So we should look at statistics. We should look at where the country, were before. And the man who was there, he assembled competent, individuals to man various, ministries and parastatal.
Oh, okay. Anyway, to be a part of the show this morning, I can see the phone lines buzzing 081-301-11724. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Senior.
Yes, good morning, Eric. Welcome.
And good morning to your guest in the studio.
Good morning.
Simeon, so let me first start by agreeing with your guest on a statement he said, Igbo people, they spread across Nigeria. And where they are participating in the election, I agree with him absolutely. I am from Plateau State. Go to Plateau State, I'm from Lantan. I have Igbo people in Lantan that politically are more relevant in my local government than me, who is from Lantan. And I have some Igbo people across Nigeria like that politically they are more relevant. Look at Joe Igbokwe in Lagos State. Of recent, what Messi said he's an Igbo man, right? I didn't hear it directly from him. There is still so room on social media that he said he's an Igbo man. Go to Rivers State, you see, most of the politicians and the politics of Rivers State is dominated to some extent with Igbo people. So we cannot just concentrate on Southeast. We know Igbo have a talent of landmass. So many of them do not reside in that place. So we cannot just concentrate on that landmass of Southeast to say, okay, Igbo people don't participate politically in an election. We cannot concentrate to that extent. So I'm of the opinion that for justice, fairness, and equity, I have always emphasized that the presidency should be microzone to people of Igbo. They should produce a president for us. They have vibrant and credible people that can outsmart any other candidate or aspirant in anywhere in Nigeria. So they should give these people this for fairness. and I will be ready to campaign and vote for any person of Igbo extraction. That would be the only reason for me to go out in 2023 to campaign and vote. Anything other than that, I'll be reluctant. I don't know whether I may be able to vote. Thank you very much.
Okay, Eric, you're saying if a Southeastern has not been filled, you might not vote. Mentality like this are part of the problems. Whether we not minding who is being fielded, not minding the region, you just have to exercise your franchise. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, senior.
Good morning. Okay, welcome.
Thank you. Please, I just want to say something.
Okay, go ahead.
You people are trying. Please, you people work so. You people should stop giving not the past time. You people should just stand and speak for the whole Nigerians. Anything that concerns the issues, I have noticed it is quite different from other places. You understand? If you are an Igbo man, you want to drive for election, they will say no. You are not. You people, you have only 5 states. But if you can go everywhere in Nigeria. Igbo people are dominating everywhere in Nigeria. The Nigerians to support them to be a president, you start hearing policies. And after you call yourself one Nigerian, and you see, they are agitating for them to stay on their own because this thing is uncalled for. You are brothers.
Okay, we're struggling to hear you. I'm struggling to hear you, okay?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear, go ahead.
Okay, I say we are saying we are one Nigeria. Please, let us do something with equity and justice so that everybody will be happy. We will not say one Nigeria for math and in our mind, we are not one. Please, let them join this thing to Southeast. Or for the PDP, let me just tell you, if them refuse to join it to Southeast, what can see? Because the Southeast has been a carrier party for PDP. We supported PDP from day one till now. But now they want to do it, no open ballot. No problem.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so much emotion going into that particular one. Good morning to you. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to the guests in the house.
Good morning.
My name is Pascal. I'm calling from Guatemala. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you.
All right, thank you. I just have only 3 things to say. First of all, Nigeria, the way Nigeria as a country is right now, there's no way you will see anything that in one way or the other you will not stand by us. Because then as much as you're trying to say the right thing, in the other way around, it seems you're trying to step on other people's toe. So I just want to sincerely apologize to the guests and to you. I'm the first caller to say that I say to a particular region. So I just want to sincerely apologize on the person there. Then, I want to first of all agree with the guests concerning what you talk about people, concerning being all over Nigeria. All over Nigeria as this may. Because personally, when it comes to Southeast have this issue of a mask. Even if you want to talk about people that practice on Nigeria from the heart is Igbos. There is no place that you will not go that you will not see an Igbo landlord. Igbo builds everywhere. So we will not take that credit away from them. In politics, it's the same. When you come to census, the Northerners leave the Southeast to the North. Likewise, few of the Westerners. But people that are doing their business, they will tell you they should come and plant us here. So that's how it is. So we will not see about it. And then for the guys who say that you're not simply to be meeting people, sir, I want to tell you that he has met the National Assembly. But there's one thing I want to emphasize. We should not see politics as the way it takes. We should always come with the revolution. We should always come that things are changing. Nigeria has been playing politics to be of poor people. These are being, backed up to this. Not the interest of the masses. Just like the last person that called and said, if people didn't come out, they will not vote. These are the way things are going. These are the things that make the politics to go wrong.
Okay.
In Nigeria, I don't see why. Let me just make a conclusion. I don't see why, if you be coming out as a president, you are expected to rush down to north to see the stakeholders, rush down to west to see the stakeholders, rush down to east to see the stakeholders, but then to convince people to vote for you. You know, let us talk for you.
Okay, thank you, Pascal.
We are all in Nigeria. We have all seen this. We have the records.
Okay.
I don't see why I have to stay involved in our politics of if you are coming out from the east, you have to rush down to the north to see the stakeholders. You have to, if you are coming from the north,
Okay,
you
you need to wrap up now, Pascal.
What I'm saying is, Nigerians, our mindset needs to change. Anything you are coming out from, let us talk to you. Start from the grassroots, lead your grassroots, come to the federal and do it.
Okay, we need to let you go now, Pascal. Thank you.
So what I'm saying is that
Thank you.
just erase that message.
Okay, thank you so much for that one, Pascal. All you're saying, our mentality need to change in this climb. Thank you for that particular one, 08130-111-724. And before I take this call right now, Theophilos, I really want to just ask you this. Still talking about the presidency, especially presidents from the southern extra, whether southeast or south-south. I mentioned certain candidates within the south, of the southern extract who have actually indicated interest. I mentioned some from the southeast, and also the potential of the former president also contesting again in 2023. But openly, you how should I say, downcasted that of Peter Obi, saying you do not seem actually winning because of his antics. His way of pushing has been on social media rather than doing the groundwork. And you totally supported the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, who you said his ambition is valid. According to you, it is true that he will actually come out in 2023. Nigerians are still asking, what party will he contest under? Will he defect to another party, or will he stay with his party? Who will actually give him the ticket? And also, you're understanding this. You clearly threw your weight behind Goodluck Jonathan. Why is this?
Well, like I told you earlier, former President Jonathan, when I heard about, his ambition and his aspiration to contest for the 2023 general elections, I was excited because of his antecedents, because I vote people based on antecedents. And just like P2B, if he actually, do the real work and he wins his party, ticket, I can also vote for him. It's a choice that I can easily make because I know his antecedents and I know what he did in Anambra State. But personally, I said that if Jonathan should contest, which I believe he will contest, and any political party that he contests under, he has my vote. It's a personal opinion. I'm not imposing that opinion on anyone.
Okay, 08130111724 is the number to call. You can also drop a message on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is 07033728313. 07033728313. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother.
Welcome, Elder Noja.
Noja is my name. Good morning, Agada.
Good morning.
You are welcome. You see, we do respect. It's not for Igbo man to rule this country. But the problem there is that people, they don't unite. Igbo man can take his brother to Africa because of case of council. And then if they can unite and bring somebody out, all Nigeria, they are going to support Igbo because we know Igbo, they are very intelligent to make something happen. See, let me tell you about our Igbo people. If they can bring something as a piece of your product, within 5 years, Nigeria are going to turn around. But Igbo people, they can never mobilize themselves and bring somebody out. Let them bring somebody out now, his brother will go to Springport and disqualify him. When they give the Senate president to him in Nigeria here, how many of them they change within 6 months? Cut. I want Igbo people to mobilize themselves. We are waiting for them to bring somebody out for them to come and rule this country. No, to say politics goes by lobby. Not to say you wait for Christmas. Mobilize yourself. And then the other thing, people where you are saying they are in Lagos, they are in this and this. People man don't vote. They don't vote. I have been police on them. The election day, the man can never go and wait 3 hours in the voting station. They are not voting. That election day, you see them in the bar, where they are chopping this and this. The other people will be in the field. I don't want to measure them. They can spend some money tonight in the field, waiting for voting reasons. But people man can never spend 2 hours in voting station. Most of them, when you say they are living here, they are this and this. Majority of them find out from them they don't have a voting card. Even if they have a voting card, they don't wait for voting. That's the problem with people man. Anybody can come out and vote, but that's what is happening.
Okay, thank you, Aldonoja. For that, he's saying, people of the southern and southeastern extract, they do not necessarily vote because we've seen figures actually come out. You've actually said it earlier that we shouldn't limit the southeastern vote to the states that are southeastern region. We have southeasterners in other states as well, spread across the country and exercise their franchise. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning. Please go ahead.
Yeah, this is Emigrant calling from Buhari.
Okay.
Among people, we have intellectual, credible people, and no doubt about it. But I want to advise them, as I used to advise some of them at contact, to take their political direction. The way they are going, it will be difficult for people to produce a president. Number one, you never see with any other person except yourself. Remember that when Buhari was contesting for election, the first person he contacted was people. To nominate people as his vice president. Why? Up to your candidate. Knowing fully that if this man is hand over, he will hand over to the vice president, but they reject it. They went and support somebody from the south who's vice president from the north. Now, the generation that are coming say that yeah, is a huge. You want to be a president for the people, for the animals in the zoo? He is taking the political direction. If you want to produce Nigerian president, that's my sincere advice. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that particular one. You heard the submission he made, Theo. You want to make a comment on that?
The truth is, power is not given. Power is taken. Any region that thinks they have the number, to win an election, let them mobilize and win the election. Nobody should blackmail anyone into giving, a political party ticket to them. Go and do the work. If you win your party ticket, then Nigerians can vote for you as it stands. The decision, for 2023 lies with the party for now. The Nigerian people that is the masses, do not have a say in who becomes what for now. It's the political parties, that would decide, okay, this is the way to go and this is the way to go.
Okay, so at this point, at the moment, what can Nigerians actually do, or especially the candidates of this particular extra, what can they do so they can emerge? Is it a case of them mobilizing? Is it a case of them lobbying members of their political parties? So at the end of the day, during their primaries, the ticket can actually go one direction, and at the end of the day, we see Southeastern emerging as candidates from all the political parties, which some would say is impossible.
Well, one of your callers, told me, or told us rather, that people should look at antecedents and just, especially the delegates, that they should just look at antecedents, that we have been backward, that they should just look at antecedents and just, vote during party primaries. But it doesn't work like that. I've had, the privilege of monitoring, parties' elections. And I can tell you for a fact that, take it or leave it, party primaries still remains who has the highest or, the fattest, pockets to win party primaries. We should stop lying to ourselves. If you want to win your party tickets, go and do the groundwork. Go to each of these states where there are delegates, consult with the delegate, tell them your programs and your plans for the country. If they decide that, okay, this is the person that we want, they will vote for you. So the groundwork is simply,
in other words, when you say tell them your plans, does that connote tell them how much you will give them? Because you just said
it has to do with money.
It has to do with money.
I heard that.
Well, the truth is, party primaries, we all know how party primaries, works in this country. And most times, you have to bribe the delegates.
Wow.
Okay, so and this has always been the case.
It has always been the case.
So how do
and
we
are
change
advocating
this particular narrative?
Yes.
Because corruption starts at this particular level.
Absolutely. For us to, that is why we in the civil society, we are clamoring for this whole if you look at our electoral process and our polity in general, you discover that I think it was the Financial Times who posted a report that it cost an average of 1 to 2 billion naira for an individual to win a presidential election in Nigeria. That is to say, and which most of them even spend more than. For one to win, a senatorial election in Nigeria, you have to have up to 500 million naira. So how many people can afford that?
Okay, so this is
basically
where it comes to play. Okay, this is the narrative we want to change. So quickly before we let you go, because we are really out of time. So Agada, some time ago, you actually made a tweet which I'm actually looking at the moment, and I want a simple answer. You made a tweet some time ago and you said APC presidential candidate will come from South. Know this, no peace. So looking at this tweet you put out some days ago, were you referring to the man you said you're going to support at the moment, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan? Yes or no?
I was actually referring to him.
Okay, so in other words, Agada have actually spilled the bean right here on Bright Republic. So for those of you who have been speculating and asking questions, keep your fingers crossed. We might actually see this man surface as the APC presidential candidate, as said by the spokesperson. Let me not even come from that angle, from Agada himself. Let me not come from that particular angle.
Opinion expressed today actually is personal, not that of organization.
Okay, anyway, Agada Abu, thank you so much for coming today. It has been a wonderful deliberation with you. We'll see the phone lines buzzing, but apologies because of time, we couldn't take them. Thank you for coming today.
I really appreciate you, and thanks for having me on your platform today.
Jerome Water, thank you so much. I know you have a lot to say, especially as regards Southeastern presidency.
Thank you very much for having me today, Simeon. I want Nigerians to go get their PVC,
absolutely,
and then get ready for the election.
Okay, Timotoko Elegushi, thank you so much for being a part of the show. I see her smiling when she talked about the APC. Anyway, thank you for coming. I'll see you tomorrow on Bright Republic. Tomorrow will be the last edition of the show for the week. My name is Simeon Sunday. Will be off sports coming up right now.